Sylus, the leader of Onychines. He is rich, like super rich, owns jets, and he rides motorcycles. He likes collecting weapons. He is a master of weapons. Collects precious jewels. He likes listening to classical music, and he adores animals. There are many instances of him interacting with animals, and they also like him, which is actually nice. He especially likes cats, which is the very reason why he calls MC Kitten. And he loves singing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
He is tone deaf, so it's better not to ask him to sing. You will regret it.
Happy birthday.
But I should say that he has gotten better at singing this year's happy birthday. You are improving, Sylus. He has a companion, a mechanical crow with a high IQ, Mephisto. Sylus is undeniably the love interest who brought a lot of global players into the game. Maybe you also started playing because of him. So in this video, we go through his whole story. Let's go to his timeline. This is the order of all his currently available anecdotes, world underneath, myths at the time of this video. Yes, we have few stories for him. The new myth releases will be placed between these stories or before or after, and most of the 5-star memories occur in the main story timeline. Now, Sylus has been traveling across galaxies before coming to the Earth. So there are also stories that are not released of him that we do not know about. Now let's get into his lore one by one. This will be like a summary of all his stories with some theories I came up with. The theories could be true or not. If you think something is not adding up, please share your thoughts in the comments below. We will start with his myth, Beyond Cloud 4. This takes place in lands of Phelos. More than 1,600 years ago, dragons ruled the lands of Phelos. Before humans arrived on the planet, they fed on human souls and could bring out the deepest desires of humans. Dragons are described as harbingers of the world's end. Wherever they are, doomsday followed. When the dragons were discovered by humans, they were killed in the valley, except for Sylus, as his appearance was human. He was born with a human appearance. Sylus hated his existence as a dragon. He tried cutting his dragon horns, but they would always grow back. The humans who rescued him discovered that he is also a dragon, and they tried to kill him. Unfortunately for them, they all get killed by the dragon. He didn't do it knowingly. His dragon instincts took over. He only sees them lying in a pool of blood when he comes to his senses. He gets his wings for the first time, and the curse he despised of being born as a dragon has now become his strength. And then he flies to the depths of the valley. We learn he, the last dragon of the planet, was captured by a sacred judicator and sealed away in the abyss. The MC was an orphan who grew up in a sanctuary. She was trained to be a weapon to slay dragons. However, she cherished a little dragon engraved on a golden lamp. One day, they caught her talking to this dragon and forced her to destroy it, but she refused. Then they branded her as a sorceress and sent her to the abyss. I don't know why they didn't kill her right away but sent her to the abyss. Like, did they already know that she was the key to kill the dragon? There was also a merchant who predicted the fiend's meeting with his destined arch-nemesis. After MC was sent to the abyss, she unleashed the fiend who was trapped there for 1,677 years. This rescue marked the start of a curse. Dragon Sylus was sealed by the sacred judicator who plunged a special sword into his chest. He had various weapons that could harm a dragon. I guess he also had this special sword in his possession, and this sacred judicator should have found it within his lair. Sylus says the judicator was lucky to get his hands on it and fortunate enough to drive it into my chest. We learn that to kill Sylus, we need this special sword and its true master who can wield its power. and the true master is the MC. This sword goes into her body when she pulled it out of the dragon. After rescuing the dragon, as dragons were known to feed on human souls, MC thought he wanted her soul. However, it turns out he was trying to take what didn't belong to her. Also, the MC starts seeing visions, the memories of the dragon's capture, and she also experiences his pain. It is said that a fragment of the dragon's soul entered her body the moment she pulled out the sword. So the dragon Sylus is trying to take the part of his soul that entered into her body. There is black mist inside her body, and no matter how hard he tried to take it, it would go back into her. And we see MC's desire in this lifetime is to take his eye, saying it is her power to kill him. The MC lives with the dragon, going on raids and collecting treasure. The dragon was fulfilling her minor desires, while the MC still had that deep desire to get his eye. Then he leaves a mark on the MC, giving her two chances to kill him.
You will have 2 more chances to take my life.
Now, he lived alone in the depths of the valley and was sealed away for 1,677 years. Only now he has company. He doesn't even know how to act in certain situations, like when she declares she likes him. MC is the only person who accepted him for who he is. She taught him to appreciate the beauty of life even in this chaotic world. In the past, his only focus was to survive, which is likely why he is so compassionate towards animals in the present timeline, because as a dragon, he understands how hard it is to survive in a world dominated by human desires. And it's hinted that he is still a young dragon who just learned to hide his wings. In the main story, there are hints that he is still a dragon. The little girl refers to him as a fiend with horns and wings. And in the anniversary animation, we see a cute Sylus with wings. I think that we can conclude that in the main story, he is still a dragon who has now learned how to hide his horns and the tail. The dragon Sylus enjoys her company. He is captivated by her singing and playing on the organ, which marks the start of his likeness to classical music. In the 4-star memory, Sylus plays this requiem on an organ and MC joins in, even though she has no clear memory of it. And we, the MC, gave him the name Sylus because his real name was a Philosian name. It was difficult for her to pronounce. And to think that now he uses this name everywhere he goes. Wow. There is a curse of dragons where they will kill their lover, and MC being his arch nemesis, she is destined to kill him. Even after knowing this, they still fall in love with each other. One time, Dragon Sylus lost his mind and tried to take her soul, but she unknowingly strikes him with the great sword. This was the first time after he mocked her, and she still had another chance to kill him. Sylus almost died, but MC saved him. Then they share their souls, bounding their lives in an unbreakable bond. Then they have this dream. I think it's Sylus who dreams this, and MC sees his dream since she has the ability to look into others' dreams. But anyway, I believe both of them see it. Look at how happy he is. This dream is what he wants his life to be, but he can never have. This is so heartbreaking. After this dream, the Legion of Justicia captures them. MC is sentenced for being a sorceress. The news of the fiend's death spreads throughout the land, but she knows the dragon is not truly dead because he comes to visit her while she is imprisoned. During her execution, Dragon Sylus comes to save her. This execution was in fact a trap to catch the dragon. Then they resonate. She gets the great sword. He helps her plunge the sword into him. I cannot believe that they made us kill Sylus.
If you don't, there's no going back.
he retaliates against fate by allowing her to kill him rather than him as a dragon killing his lover. And as he dies, MC curses him, binding his soul to hers forever. And only she can grant him true death, making Sylus live forevermore until she kills him again and again. And then we see MC is also getting horns and a dragon's tail because she has half of his dragon soul. For them, their fate is either she dies or he dies. Then we have his anecdote, The Land of Lost, which takes place after some time. He is reincarnated, but he has all his memory as a dragon. He uses the name Sylus that MC gave him in his dragon myth. This is where we learn that Sylus travels through galaxies committing crimes. However, his actions never affected the space citizen's life, meaning he doesn't kill the innocent. He is described as most wanted criminal in Philo's history, the only one to ever escape the space-time prison, a real legend. We don't know who caught him, but whoever that is, being able to catch Sylus, he or she must have known his weaknesses. I believe this prison is what is shown in his trailer. And they lost their target, in other words, Sylus has escaped. This anecdote tells the story right before Sylus comes to the N109 zone. He goes to a planet called Feather Star that is shaped as a black diamond. There is a greedy overlord who collects treasures across galaxies, whose birthday is a few days away. It seems Sylus came to the planet to accomplish a goal, and he is working with a group. As his first step, he takes control of this planet. He makes this overlord to bring ships filled with treasures, and during the overlord's birthday, he traps the corrupted High Lords who are attending. One of the High Lords reveals about Eye of Ether, which is hidden in the walls. And this is something that Sylus has been looking for a long time. The thing that he relentlessly pursued unveils itself unexpectedly. Then he begins to entertain the thoughts of destiny, probably of meeting the MC. He wants the High Lords' lives to also be left to the Destiny's whims. He unleashes the beast captivated in an artificial garden, brings out their deepest desires, and all the High Lords were wiped out in one night. In this crime scene, he leaves a brooch that is centuries old. It captivates the dreamer still in pursuit of that impossible dream. We don't know what was drawn there, but this description is very sad. He leaves the planet in a spaceship. All the treasures were sent to their rightful owners, returning them to where they belong. He has a conversation with the group that he does business with. He found the crystal that he has been looking for, a transparent orb with tiny blue lights within it. This orb points to a small planet, and Sylus gazes at it with melancholy. This reminds me of the description of the brooch. He is pursuing that impossible dream. Like, even though he wants to meet the MC, he knows their fate is not happiness. He still wants to go there because he is always trying to go against fate. He lands in the N109 zone. He starts to blend in, seeing an advertisement where a man is wearing a leather jacket on a motorcycle. So now we know where this look comes from. In this anecdote, we see that he is also unable to use his full power due to an invisible tether within him, just like the red ring of light of Xavier's. What we see is not his full potential. A reason for this could be that part of his soul is in the MC. As we saw in the myth, there was red mist within her. Part of his power is in her. And I want to talk about Sylus's weaknesses. We know that he has supernatural healing abilities. He is nocturnal, mostly active at night. We see if he was injured in the daylight, his healing abilities do not work as they would at night. I think this is one of the reasons why he is mostly active at night, other than him being a nocturnal creature. And also we see he is sensitive to light. These things could be a dragon's traits. Sylus living in the N109 zone is similar to him living as a dragon because he still doesn't have any allies, only enemies. The world underneath Mischief tells the story of how the twins Luke and Kieran meet and join Sylus. This takes place after the chronolift catastrophe. The twins have the ability to see each other's field of vision through their eyes and also experience each other's pain as if it were their own. They were experimented on by Ever and are now sent to be disposed, as they will go through a transformation as a side effect of protocol exposure. In other words, they want to kill them before they become wanderers. This disposed site is near the N109 zone. The twins escapes from this vehicle. Knowing that they are going to die, they wanted to do something crazy. They come up with the idea to kill Sylus, the big shot in the N109 zone. But they fail the first time, of course. Then they try another approach, becoming his followers to take him down when he least expects it. Sylus tests them by forcing them to fight each other, and during this fight, one of the twins begins his transformation, and somehow Sylus saves him. How is he able to stop someone from turning into a wanderer and also save them? Not like Dawnbreaker Zayne, who kills humans who start their transformation into wanderers. Is this one of Sylus's capabilities? He said in his dragon myth that he could resurrect a whole dead city. So does that mean he can also prevent that? Did he not die in his myth? He dissolved into some petals, right? There is so much we don't know what he is capable of. And back to the story, after 2 weeks, the twins come back to genuinely join Sylus. They say they will keep an eye on a suspicious guy named Sherman, and Sylus admires people trying to survive. I think it reminds him of himself trying to survive as a dragon. And now he has his first 2 allies, the twins who are capable of standing beside him out of everyone in the N109 zone. There is also the reason why the twins wear masks. One of the twins who almost transformed got scars on his face due to the crystals, which made them look different. The other twin comes up with the idea to wear masks so that they can look identical again. This anecdote ends with them asking Sylus a very nice question. Is there anyone who can actually kill him? And Sylus gives a little smile. Yeah, there is. The MC is the only one that can grant him death. Then we move on to the second main story, the long-awaited revelry. The second main story is a continuation of the first main story. To recap, MC uses herself as bait to enter into the N109 zone in order to get more information about her ether core. Specifically, she wants to get the ether core that will be presented in a protocol auction in the N109 zone. Onychines is an organization that modify protocols. Their goal is unknown. The leader of Onychines is Sylus. She gets abducted from the nest and is taken to the N109 zone, where Sylus comes to her rescue with his cinematic entrance, and their long-awaited fated reunion happens. Every time I watch this, I am always amazed by it. This is such a nice way to introduce a character while also showcasing his evil. Well done.
So, he's the head of Onychines.
Then he starts saying these things that made no sense before his myth was released.
To even all the crimes you'll inevitably commit. After all, you and I were the same, true kindred spirits.
When he brings out MC's desire, there are 2 things happening here. One, he is bringing out her desire, which is why she hears her voice, and 2, he is reading her mind. The several voices she hears are her desires of her other lifetimes. She has the same desire in all her lifetimes. She wants his power. She wants to kill him. Sylus realizes that she doesn't remember him, so he jogs her memory by helping her shoot him, just like in his dragon myth where he helped her plunge the sword into his chest. However, she doesn't get her memories. The only thing that happens is that she comes to the conclusion that he is insane. She goes into an unconscious state for a day. Likely her brain is trying to process the situation she encountered with her memories. She remained trapped in the Onychina's base for 4 days. Then she realizes that she is not locked in by the Onychinas as she thought she would be. She was free to move around. She notices that the owner of the house hasn't been there for a long time. Yes, Sylus has gone somewhere during the time of the explosion at MC's house. The explosions were done by Mr. Sherman, who took advantage of Sylus's disappearance. We don't know exactly where he went. He could have gone on one of his galaxy explorations. Then we meet Mephisto, the mechanical crow. We first see Mephisto in the first main story where it was monitoring MC and possibly Xavier too, because Xavier as Lumiere has deals in the N109 zone and Onychinas. This happens before the explosion of MC's house. I guess at this point of the story, Sylus has already left and he positioned Mephie to keep track of the MC. Not only the MC, it also keeps track of everyone related to the Onychinas. We see Mephie helps MC countless times. Mephisto is the guardian of the MC. Whenever Sylus has to disappear, Mephie is in charge of protecting the MC. We learn something about Mephisto in the new world underneath Depths of Chaos. There is a conversation between Bonthony, the administrator AI of Abyssal Chaos, and an AI named Number 1. So basically a conversation between two AIs. The AI Number 1 has been tampered with by an unknown AI whose source code appears abnormal and cannot be decoded by the current AI. Bonthony tracks the source of this new AI and realizes that this level of technology is beyond anything humans can manage right now, and it hears a sound. It's Mephisto, no doubt about it. And Mephie is also capable of taking control of Bonthony. Mephie is not from this world, or it was created by someone who is not from this world. Now, in Sylus's anecdote, which occurs right before he comes to the Earth, the N109 zone, there was no trace of a companion crow in it. So probably he got Mephisto after coming to the N109 zone. Maybe he was still going on his expeditions through galaxies and got Mephie in one of them. Also, despite Mephie knowing MC only for a couple of days, it trusts MC. Blame on its high IQ for that. In Midnight Stealth, when MC came into Sylus's room, Mephie didn't make any sound to notify Sylus, to say something like, "She came here to invade your privacy." No, it didn't. It only makes sounds when she accuses it.
Yes or no? Damn it. I need to hide.
It's like Mephie knows that she is not a threat whatsoever to Sylus, and also maybe it is used to having MC in Sylus's room. I really want to know Mephie's backstory, like how Sylus got him. Maybe MC is also part of that story. Maybe. I am not sure. This would explain why Mephie trusts the MC. Then we learn from a man who came to meet Sylus about the project called Fountain of Ate, where a group plans to implant protocols into human hearts and human consciousness into wanderers. He is also someone who betrayed Onychinas, and so Sylus kills him. When MC tries resonating with him again and fails, he says you can't do it just yet, and her power is weak now. The fact that Sylus says that she is weak now means she was powerful when he met her. Probably in his dragon myth, she has full power. In this timeline, we know a wanderer's attack weakened her. Sylus then takes her to the workshop to analyze her evil state. This lab is where they do evil alterations, protocol modifications. Sylus wants to make her stronger and tries to bring out her suppressed power using this little thing, but in vain. We see he gets impatient.
I think there's another reason
Then
why
the
she
shop
can't resonate.
owner says
On a
she is
subconscious
subconsciously
level. She's either
rejecting
rejecting
him.
you, scared of you, or disgusted by you.
That's why he cannot resonate with her. Look at his sad face after hearing that. Poor Sylus. He then gives up. Then we learn that the shopkeeper was also a researcher who worked alongside MC's grandma. Then, as she leaves the shop, Sylus has disappeared, leaving her on her own. But of course, we have Mephie, her guardian, to look out for her. A little girl appears and takes the MC to a place called Elysium, where she can gather intel. This shopkeeper has a backstory in the new world underneath Elysium. I will talk about it in a bit. The MC asks her for a list of attendees and a map of the venue of the protocol auction, but getting this intel was very expensive. Then Mr. Sherman's henchman barges into the bar. They have learned that Onykinus' valuable guest has gone missing. They are now searching for the MC. The shopkeeper realizes this girl is the Onykinus' guest, so she keeps her hidden from them. Now, from the new world underneath Elysium, we got to know the reason why she keeps her hidden. A brief background story for her. As a child, she grew up in an abusive family. She wanted to get stronger. She met a woman, Ginevra, who could single-handedly knock down a couple of drunks. They settled down in the N109 zone and opened Elysium together. She learns Ginevra is actually a cop situated in the N109 zone. In 2036, before the chronolift catastrophe, a war broke out of a protocol map which gets stolen by Phantom Thief P, Mr. P, and Ginevra has taken this map from him, trading something that is valuable to her, Ashlyn's protection fees. She then struck a deal with Sylus to protect Elysium in exchange for this map. It is hinted that this protocol map was merely a front for the war to break out. The real reason was something else. After this war, the formerly prosperous tech hub became a place for the outlaws, and Sylus became the new master of the N109 zone. Elysium is one of the N109 zone's top intel hubs, backed by a powerful source. Yes, Sylus is still backing up Elysium. From the menu, today's special, Sweet Evil Trap, being exclusive for a certain lady and serving their sponsor as a side dish, I can only think this was made for the MC and Sylus is waiting for her. Now, in this menu, we have these items. Pomegranate is associated to Sylus because we have a chat bubble of him with it. And this 10.5 grams of soul, I actually found out about an experiment where they found the weight of a soul is 21 grams. And so the 10.5 gram is the weight of half a soul. Sylus and MC carrying half a soul of each other. This is Sylus hinting to the MC that the person waiting for you is the person who shared half your soul with, assuming that she remembers their soul exchange. She didn't get to read it, but she wouldn't remember even if she read it because she has no memory. Once again, poor Sylus. Yes, the reason why the shopkeeper saves her and gives her the intel without asking for fees is because she is with Sylus. And now she realizes Sylus has found the lady he has been looking for. They return to the base. MC makes a deal with him. She asks him to ensure her safety to get out of the N109 zone after she gets the ether core from the auction. In exchange, she will change the idea of him in her mind and resonate with him. Sylus changes the deal, asking her to try to get the crow brooch from him within 24 hours. If she succeeds, her taking the brooch is in his Bond story, Midnight Stealth. Now, in his Bond story, there is an important detail. The call that Sylus receives before this scene. I am sure many of us forgot about the call when we saw this scene. He is keeping track of the attendees in the nest on the night the MC was captured and brought to the N109 zone. That night, we saw there were 2 people in the nest who would interest Sylus, Rafayel and this Ever guy. When I saw this guy, the first thing that came to my mind was, why is he wearing this Ever coat in the nest? Like proudly declaring, I am from Ever? Does the nest belong to Ever? The only thing I remember is that Ever's shady business deals were gone through the nest. Please, if you know, let me know in the comments if I missed the fact that the nest belongs to Ever. I don't think so. Let me know if it appeared in some story. So Sylus is keeping tabs on Rafayel and the Ever guy. MC successfully gets the brooch from him with the help of the twins. How naive is the MC? Did she really think these 2 will give her evil suppressor handcuffs and a real tranquilizer gun to take down their boss man? They know exactly their boss man's capabilities. They won't risk their lives. Then they go to the protocol auction at the Solon Hotel. This is where Sylus starts showing off. He gives us his black card. Yeah. Then he goes off to meet Mr. Sherman, who is responsible for the 2 explosions, including the one at MC's house. This man was used by someone to betray Onykinus. Sylus reads his mind, learns about who used him, and also learns the location of the ether core, and then proceeds to kill him. Then there is this really beautiful scene of Sylus openly displaying his affection for the MC, even though she has no clue, at least for now. They realize this auction was a trap for Sylus. Then he finishes the dance and blows up the place. Wanderers start appearing. Sylus takes her to the location of the ether core, to the rooftop of the Solon Hotel. This now abandoned place was once a laboratory used by Ever. Sylus hints that while many locations were affected by the catastrophe, the N109 zone was the only place turned into a wasteland. We know from Elysium this destruction started even before the catastrophe. Ever could have been trying to bury secrets by destroying the labs in the N109 zone. On the rooftop, there is a flux nexus which contains the ether core. Sylus warns her if she takes the ether core, there is no going back. She takes the protocore, the ether core's power gets absorbed into the ether core in her heart. Now, if you noticed, he was holding her hand, resonating when this happens. Is this because part of her soul is in him? So to absorb the ether core, her full soul should be intact and he is helping her. Also in his dragon myth, he resonates with her for her to get the sword. I think it is because of the shared souls. In his dragon myth, Sylus was struggling to control his eye. He mentions her power is the cause of it. And in the myth, I believe she had full power. I feel like his eye and her heart are connected. It would make sense if his ether core and her ether core are fragments of the same ether core. So now these 2 fragments of the ether core are acting like magnets, because in the description of ether cores, we have that the energy core of an ether core can concentrate energy through gravity. A type of ether core fragments are drawn together by some gravitational pull, which can also explain the energy linkage binding them. And when he brings out her desire, in both his myth and the main story, she says that it is her power.
It hurts. It's yours for the taking. Just kill him.
Is it because it is part of her ether core? Also, he mentions that
Only I can give you what you want.
is he talking about his eye or the half of her soul he has? Whenever MC mentions his eye is an ether core, he seems sad, and one time he said, yeah, think of it as that. He is not even confirming it is an ether core. The thing is, We know all dragons are able to bring out humans' desires, but that doesn't mean all dragons had a special eye like Sylus has. His eye power should be something more than bringing out the desires. He says his eye lets him see the desire. It's see. He is able to read minds, as we saw when he read Sherman's mind. In Searing Touch, he shows his eye and her heart as the reason how he is able to read her. What exactly is the secret behind his eye other than him being able to read people? He mentions with her current resonance, the linkage won't last long. Yeah, Sylus knows exactly why it is happening. And from now on, she will be seeing her memories from other timelines. This ether core they found is mentioned as the other half of the ether core that is in her body. Does that mean after absorbing this ether core, the energy of the ether core in her body is complete? And also after absorbing this energy is when she starts having visions of her other lifetimes. And we know at the start of the game, it said we are stuck in this loop, this never-ending journey. So what I understand is the MC's life is in a loop because she cannot die. She goes through the past, the present, the future multiple times. She has shared multiple lifetimes with her love interest, and it's hinted about parallel worlds and the past, the present, future all coexist. I believe that when her ether core is full, the memories of her other lifetimes, the future, the past, all converge into her. It's like now she has space, so they come into her. Like in the 4-star memory, she easily plays the requiem that she played for Dragon Sylus in another lifetime. She is not completely sure how she is able to play it. She is aware of fragments of this memory, but she has them in her. She is slowly recovering the memories. And we also have this little fact that someone traveled through the Deepspace tunnel. In Magnum Opus, Sylus mentions the MC moved to another foreign land. Is this the MC who traveled through the Deepspace tunnel to another timeline? After getting the ether core, she leaves the N109 zone, goes back to the Lincoln City. Another note in this story and the first main story is there are individuals or a group trying to relive the powerful Wanderers. Mr. Sherman was also used by them. The goal is not yet mentioned, but this could be part of the real plan as hinted. His myth-captivating moment takes place after the main story long-awaited rivalry. We get to experience the life of Sylus in the N109 zone as she joins him for his business deals in his world. We also get to see Sylus and MC boxing.
But I'll admit your combat prowess surpassed my expectations.
This myth finishes with a nice note of both of them trying to figure out about each other. MC trying to understand him and her lost memories of him, and Sylus with figuring out how MC's existence works. That is all I have for Sylus. This was more like a summary of all his stories with less theories. The theories I came up with could be true or not. We don't know about his power, his eye, whether it is actually an ether core or something else. Did it belong to the MC? The reason for modifying protocols, his involvement with Ever. But either way, we all know under his scary demeanor, he is the softest, the gentlest.
I'd rather risk exposing my weaknesses when I protect you than see you injured. You should know very well that I adore you. There is no love purer than mine. No one should be forced to keep up with someone else.
Yeah. Please let me know in the comments if I missed something. I am sure I must have. And I will be doing the remaining love interest, lore and theories pretty soon. You can watch them on my channel. Also, I will leave a link to the playlist here. I already have Xavier's. I will do my best to analyze and come up with theories for our boys. If you are looking forward to them, consider subscribing and leave a like. And this is Ari's Haven. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.